Good afternoon. It's April 12th, 2023, and today we had two legs down. Looks like we're going a little further, so maybe our next target is somewhere around here at about 441.11. But you can see we bounced pretty much perfectly at the measured move at about 41.20. So it looks like we got another second entry short here. And I mean, I'm at this point, I'm just marking all these second entries because the second entries were working out all day. Some of them in the morning, most of them didn't have good signal bars, but in the afternoon they did. So let's take a look at this. 5 o'clock comes right at this double test here in the overnight. It looked pretty range-like here. We broke lower and then went higher. And then it looked like, perhaps we were in an uptrend. Break, move to a new high. So when you get that double test, maybe you take that. And then the news item came out at 5 o'clock. And we had this like spike in channel. But really, I think it just turned out to be a big move up with a break and a couple legs to a new high before it reversed. You can't take the failure right here. I mean, maybe actually on this chart, you could take the second entry. I mean, it looks like it would have worked. I mean, thing is, for me is, and this was on the MES as well, it looked like you're going into some resistance. So because of that, I'll mark it green. But I mean, it looks like we have one leg down and a break and a move to a new low. So I'll still mark it green, but it looks like second entry long. Then you get this second entry short confirming this trend channel, but the signal bar is right here, and that's just not good. So I mean, maybe I don't think you would at that point in the day. It's still before market open, so you're probably not feeling like eager or anything. So I don't think you want to take that. I think you want to wait for something better. Come down here, we test that trend line again. I mean, this is really tempting. It looks like a hidden failed second entry long. That one's pretty tempting. You can see we come down, we bounce off the midline of the trend channel and the midline of the overnight highs and lows. And this is not a convincing break to me. The convincing break is right here. But you don't get any second entry short setups. Actually, this is a second entry short, technically. Oh, no, the second entry is right here. So that's not a good setup. I would look at this as a double bottom. But this, I marked this because it looks like a hidden second entry short. Some people probably went long on this on the double test, but I just think it felt like a range day at this point. And so I like this. There's room to the midline for a scalp, 57. Yeah, just enough room back to the midline for a scalp. Very bearish bar, hidden second entry short. So you might take that one. You get a failure right here, but it's so far from the EMA, I'm not taking that. Get a break, move to a new low, and then it reverses. You get sort of a spike and channel up here, but all this is too far from the EMA, and we're bouncing off the midline. So you do get a double test right here, and that looks like a hidden second entry short. But the double test, you're pushing it there. No, actually, that does look like a double test. So you might take this one. Double test, hidden second entry short at the midline, at this point, it really had to feel like a range day, so we're probably going lower. You don't know that, but there's enough evidence to suggest that. We make this channel down, nothing in here, this red channel, and you get a first entry, second entry. I marked this one just because I didn't, at that point, you might be like eager, but this is a pretty good trade. Even though I marked it aggressive, it's pretty good. And this one's all right, and this one's all right. So maybe you don't take that, but it's I don't know. It's pretty. After this nice move down, we still are waiting on a new low. It's a very bearish bar, plenty of room to the lows. You might consider that one. First entry, second entry. Looks like they trapped some people here. That's unfortunate. 41.25. So the people going for 4 ticks right there, you're good. But the people who went for 8 ticks, they got trapped and stopped out. So let me put a box there for the trap. It's a doji. What else might keep you out of this trade? It's a doji. You can see, yeah, I mean, it just comes back up and tests this price level first. So you're taking it in the middle of the range. That's a little tough to spot, but actually, yeah, that's actually not. I wouldn't take that anyway because you wouldn't have had this trend line yet. Yeah. So you would be playing this red channel. So really, I mean, do we have a new low in place? No, we don't. But look at that bullish momentum. It doesn't look like a little doji like that is going to work. It looks like we made a triple bottom and we're going higher. So when that fails, you do get a second entry right there. Maybe you take that because that's near this trend line. And it's like a double test. Yeah, that's pretty good actually. It's like a double test of the overnight lows too. But it's still aggressive. Not quite back to the trend line. Not a whole lot of room to the lows. And then we keep moving on down. We hit that measure move and prices quickly reverse. Now right here, this was a very bullish move up. Unfortunately, we didn't tick lower right here. And if you did, you would want to go long. So maybe if you got set up to go long there, go long. But I don't know. Maybe you go long above this. But at that point, you're bending the rules, and it gets sloppy when you start bending the rules. Here we get a second entry long, but it's an inside bar in this khaki channel. I'll make that a little less dramatic. This is clearly a channel, but there's just no setups. We get a break of that, and you get this move down. You get a second entry long. It just looks like, maybe you take that. Here, let me make this clear. Maybe you take that, but it looks like it's in part of a downward channel. But when you get the actually the close outside is actually right here. So I got to keep that green because of that. So the second entry, when it makes a double bottom here and you make a new high, that's why I like this one, because that's telling us, no, we're not in a downtrend. We're just correcting. So I like that for that reason. And then you come back and you make a double test. That's also a second entry right there. And that starts this spike and channel. I marked this green. I have a feeling Mac would have marked it blue. Let me mark it blue because I do like it after the fact. Then you get a higher low right here, but we have a break of the khaki channel and a new high. So I think that's a bit risky. That's just a higher low. But then when you get the failed second entry short off that trend line, you might consider that. You can see a lot of people like that. Then we come back and you get a first entry, second entry, but the signal bar is trash. So I marked it, but you know what? I gotta take that off because we didn't make it to the highs of the channel. And then you test that range high again. And you know what? This one's pretty tempting. Right here, second entry short, but we don't have a new high from this channel. And this looks like one leg of correction. You can see we got a second leg of correction before it went lower. So this is at the news item too, so you want to be flat anyway. Yeah. So, you know, some craziness in the news item at 11. And then we come up here and you get the double test. I didn't get a signal bar. If you got a good signal bar there, it's clearly we have a break and a move to a new high. So maybe you be a little aggressive and take that. Break, move to a new high. And then when you get this lower high, I think you got to take that. We got this double test. We couldn't make a new high. You get this lower high. This looks like a range to me. I think you take that lower high and you could have gotten in this big move. So you get this big move, you get a break, first entry, second entry. I marked it red because we're trying to make a new low from this channel. But I could see people arguing it for it to be green because the EMA is right here. But we do make a scalp. We start to go sideways, make a new low. First entry, second entry, testing that resistance again. Big bearish bar, room to these lows. Then you get a lower high, take that. Boom, I like those. And then you come back and you get a first entry, second entry, double test, room to the EMA for a quick scalp. You can see people love that one. And then you get a failed second entry long. That also looks like a second entry short. People like that one. It's trending down. You get, this looks like a double bottom, but it also looks like a second entry short. So it's a second entry short. And that looks like a channel to me. So we're expecting a new low. I marked it red. Maybe it's green, but this had a nice bearish feel after that. So that's how I saw it today. Nice day if you trade the afternoon. Morning was a little rough in my opinion, or the way I was seeing it. So hope everyone had a great day. I'll be back tomorrow.